Brazil has entered a new era in its defense and industrial development, one that has quietly matured over decades and is now beginning to transform how the world perceives the country's role in global security. If in the late 20th century Brazil was primarily regarded as a peripheral importer of foreign defense technologies, today it is increasingly positioned as an exporter of high-value, high-technology defense solutions. This transformation is not a coincidence, nor a result of opportunistic circumstances. It is the outcome of a long-term national strategy that emphasizes industrial autonomy, engineering excellence, and technological dignity. This evolution is anchored in a robust defense industrial ecosystem consisting of nearly 300 companies and more than 2,000 registered defense products. These range from aircraft to command and control platforms, naval missile systems, radars, cyber defense suites, to unmanned aerial solutions and armored vehicles. Instead of purchasing solutions from abroad and remaining dependent on international suppliers, Brazil has cultivated an indigenous base of intellectual capital and manufacturing capability. The result is an ecosystem that creates skilled employment, cultivates research-driven engineering, and diffuses technological benefits into civilian sectors such as communications, materials science, air transport, and energy. Among all the components of this strategic foundation, Embraer Defense and Security stands as one of Brazil's most compelling national champions. Beginning with the development of practical and reliable aircraft for regional transport, Embraer built a reputation for efficiency, robustness, and adaptability that later transitioned naturally to the defense sector. Today, Embraer's military products are present not only across South America, but in Europe, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Africa. The C-390 Millennium embodies Brazil's philosophy of pragmatic capability. It offers heavy-lift transport performance comparable to legacy platforms at significantly lower lifecycle cost, while offering modern avionics and operational flexibility desired by contemporary air forces. Likewise, the A-29 Super Tucano has become an emblem of Brazilian design philosophy, cost-effective, technologically optimized, and suited to real-world operational conditions rather than theoretical specifications. It is now in service with nearly 20 nations, and its success demonstrates something deeper. When countries choose a Brazilian military aircraft, they are not simply buying a vehicle, but entering a collaborative ecosystem. Brazil does not merely sell hardware. It shares know-how, assists with local operation and training, and builds enduring strategic relationships. This approach has produced remarkable results. In the first half of 2025 alone, Brazilian defense exports reached approximately 1.31 billion United States dollars, representing 74% of the record set the previous year. Brazilian products are now exported to around 140 nations, giving Brazil a level of global defense reach that is extraordinary for a country traditionally situated outside the major geopolitical blocs of weapons manufacturing. For many countries in the global south, Brazil offers more than equipment. Brazil offers respect, partnership, and a recognition of sovereignty, unburdened by the political conditions often attached to Western defense exports. Another cornerstone of Brazil's defense ambition lies in the development of indigenous missile technology, particularly the MANSUP family. This program, focused on producing domestically designed anti-ship missiles and other guided systems, is not merely about operational capacity. It symbolizes strategic independence. With MANSUP, the Brazilian Navy gains freedom from reliance on European missile suppliers. And beyond national application, MANSUP represents a future export product that could contribute significantly to Brazil's position in the maritime defense market. If C-390 and Super Tucano shaped Brazil's reputation in the air, MANSUP may become the weapon that elevates Brazil in naval strike capability. Within Brazil itself, public sentiment toward these successes reveals something important about national identity. Across the country, there is growing pride in seeing Brazilian-made equipment used respectfully by international forces. Citizens recognize that advanced defense production elevates Brazil's standing on the world stage. Many Brazilians view this technological ascent not as a drift into militarism, but as a coming of age. The nation no longer relies on others to equip its armed forces or to define its security posture. Instead, Brazil is increasingly shaping its own future. The economic benefits are significant as well. An expanding defense sector generates high-skill employment, stimulates scientific research, and encourages domestic talent to pursue engineering and aerospace careers within Brazil, rather than emigrating. At the same time, Brazil demonstrates a culture of debate and democratic introspection. Some citizens and analysts express caution, raising legitimate questions about ethical export policies. This mature dialogue reflects a society that does not pursue power recklessly, but with awareness and conscience. Rather than dismissing such concerns, it is important to acknowledge that Brazil is navigating a responsible path, seeking to participate in the global defense market while maintaining its tradition of diplomatic restraint and peaceful international engagement. Looking ahead to the years between 2030 and 2035, Brazil's defense trajectory suggests that it will increasingly become a trusted supplier for nations seeking reliable, interoperable, and non-politicized defense solutions. Brazil's influence is likely to intensify in South America, where it already plays a stabilizing role, but it will also expand in Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia, regions that appreciate diversified procurement channels. More critically, Brazil's rise suggests a deeper strategic shift. The global defense landscape is no longer dominated exclusively by the traditional exporters of the Northern Hemisphere. New centers of capability are emerging, and Brazil stands at the forefront of this transformation. Rather than being merely a regional military presence, Brazil is assuming the status of a respected global arms supplier, grounded in technical seriousness, industrial credibility, and humane international posture. Brazil is not just participating in the strategic conversation of the 21st century. Brazil is shaping it. The story of Brazilian defense production is not one of sudden disruption, but of steady, thoughtful construction of national capability that combines domestic innovation with global partnership. This is not simply a narrative of weapons development, but of national evolution, technological maturity, and sovereign dignity. For viewers following this journey, subscribing is a meaningful way to remain connected to Brazil's strategic ascent and to engage with a community that approaches defense analysis thoughtfully and with respect for Brazil's role in the world. As always, the conversation continues respectfully in the comments, where insight, curiosity, and national pride can meet in constructive dialogue.